Good evening. Can I get a mover to open the meeting and a seconder? Moved by Councillor McDonnell, seconded by Councillor Bougie. Open the meeting at the call of the chair at 6:30. All those in favor? None opposed? Carried. Confirmation of agenda. There's no changes? All right. Can I get a mover and a seconder for the agenda? Moved by Councillor sorry for my computer. Moved by Councillor McDonnell, seconded by Deputy Mayor Lang. That the agenda be accepted as presented. All those in favor? Any declarations of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. Approval of previous minutes. Were there any notes or omissions that were noted? No. Can I get a mover and a seconder to approve them? Moved by Councillor Bougie, seconded by Deputy Mayor Lang. All those in favor? Carried. No presentations and delegations. We'll get into new business and reports. AO2 2024, Lancaster Masonic Lodge, number 207, Scott Fernie and Paul Surduk. Please go proceed.
Thank you, Chair. I will start with some required wording under the Section 44 of the Ontario Planning Act that any person may attend this hearing and or make written or verbal representation either in support of or in opposition to the proposed minor variance. If a person, the applicant or public body does not make oral or written submissions at this hearing before the minor variance is decided upon, their comments will not be considered by the Committee of Adjustment. Only the applicant, the municipality, and the Minister of Municipal Affairs or certain public bodies may appeal the decision of the minor variance of the Committee of Adjustment to the Ontario Land Tribunal, also known as the OLT, within 20 days of the decision. Note that the committee members have reviewed the application along with any written submissions received in support or in opposition prior to this hearing, and in addition will hear today oral submissions from any interested parties. So the first application being A0224 is located at Lot 6 of Plan 26 in the geographic village of Lancaster, now in the Township of South Glengarry, County of Glengarry, and is located at 28 South Terrace in Lancaster. The subject property is approximately 0.36 acres, or about 1,453 meters squared in area, and has received provisional consent to be severed into 3 lots of 396 square meters, 517 square meters, and 540 square meters. And here shows an aerial view of the lot, which includes the blue and both pink sections, and those indicate the severed portions and the retained. The purpose of the proposed minor variance is that the owner has been granted provisional consent by the United Counties to create 3 lots from the subject property as part of consent files B9523 and B9623. A condition of the consent is to apply for a minor variance and receive approval for reduced minimum lot area for any undersized lots, as well as to reduce any setbacks to proposed lot lines that do not conform to the relevant zoning standards. They are requesting the following relief from Zoning Bylaw 3809, and I will include which section or what the original standard would be for each. The first one is from section 6.2 to permit a semi-detached dwelling, single detached dwelling, or duplex on a fully municipal service lot with a lot area of 396 square meters. Normally for a semi-detached dwelling, you would need 270 square meters per dwelling unit. For a single detached dwelling, you would need 450 square meters, and for a duplex, you would need 540. To permit us, they're also seeking relief to permit a semi-detached dwelling on an interior lot with full municipal services that has 15.24 meters of frontage, along with which is on the severed portion of B9623. Normally, that would be 9 meters per dwelling unit. They're also seeking relief to reduce the required rear yard setback on the retained portion of B9623 from 6 meters to 5.75 meters. And to permit a semi-detached dwelling or duplex on a fully municipal service lot with a lot area of 517 square meters, being the severed portion of B9523, which would normally be for a semi-detached 270 meters squared per dwelling unit, and for the duplex 540 square meters. And also to permit a semi-detached dwelling, a single detached dwelling, or a duplex on a lot with 14.48 meters of frontage, being the severed parcel of B9523. Normally for a semi-detached dwelling, it would be 9 meters per dwelling unit. For a single detached dwelling, it would be 15 meters, and the same for a duplex at 15 meters. And this shows the severed lots up top. We'll go zoom in a little bit here to show part 1, 2, and 3. There's an existing building on part 3, and the other 2 are currently vacant. Here are some site photos taken when the public notice sign was put up, highlighting which section is which on that reference plan, or draft reference plan. So there's part 1, part 3 would be the existing building there, with part 2 in the back. And there's the street view of part 2, and you can see where part 1 and part 3 would be on the back of the property there. The property is designated a residential district and falls within the urban settlement area of Lancaster in the county official plan, and the proposed variance does also conform to the general intent of the official plan. In the zoning bylaw, it's zoned, or the township zoning bylaw, it's zoned residential 2, and the application does conform to the general intent of the zoning bylaw. Here's a zoning map highlighting the property in middle in the blue square, showing the surrounding zoning being primarily residential. This application was circulated to all abutting property owners within 60 meters and applicable municipal staff, and we've not received any written or verbal comments to date. And the minor variance application is being recommended to be approved by planner Joanne Haley. Thank you.
Is there anything, I believe we have some proponents in the audience. Would you like to add to that, or before I go to members of council? Okay, no questions from the audience. Any questions? Councillor McDonnell?
Seeing no questions, I'll move to approve as presented. Sorry.
Okay, would there be a seconder? So moved by Councillor McDonnell, seconded by Deputy Mayor Lang, that we approve it as presented. All those in favor? Carried. We'll move to the second item on our order of business, AO3, 2024. Michelle Fontaine. Oh, sorry. Ms. Haley has a comment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to let you know, the applicant isn't here this evening. When we have cases like that, it's entirely up to the committee if you wish to move forward and hear the application, or if you prefer to have the applicant here to answer any questions, we could defer the application at this time. But it's up to the committee.
All right, committee, how are your thoughts? To proceed? I have 3 head
Proceed.
shakes. Excellent. So AO3, 2024, Michelle Fontaine. All right, for all of these on camera, we're just saying goodbye, so we'll move to Max Irwin for AO3 2024, Michelle Fontaine.
Thank you, Chair. For A0324, the subject property is located at part of lots 17 and 18 of concession 1 in the geographic township of Charlottenburg, now in the township of South Glengarry in the county of Glengarry, and is located at 18949 County Road 2. The subject property is about 131.11 acres in area and contains 3 single attached dwellings, including the dwelling attached to the constructed deck that we will discuss in this application. Here is the whole subject property highlighted in black with a little cutout to show where the existing dwelling and the deck is highlighted in white. The purpose of the minor variance is that the owner has constructed a deck attached to an existing dwelling within the required 15-meter front yard setback, and the following relief is being requested from zoning bylaw 3809 to reduce the required front yard setback from 15 meters to 3.38 meters to the constructed frame deck. Here is a survey showing the location of the house and deck, and we'll zoom in a little bit here to show that 3.38 meter setback from the property line and where the existing dwelling is, with the septic tank behind the dwelling. And this is a street view image from, I believe, 2018. Can't quite read it from here, but I believe 2018 showing no deck, 2019, and 2023. And then these were photos taken on site when the public notice sign was placed. Those were views from County Road 2, and this is up from the driveway showing the newly constructed deck alongside the existing building to the side. The property is designated a rural district in the county official plan, and the proposed variance does conform to the general intent of the official plan. The proposed, the zone is, the property is zoned rural in the township zoning bylaw, and the application does conform to the general intent of the zoning bylaw. Here's another cutout showing the zoning of the area, pretty much entirely zoned rural with some residential to the east. The application was circulated to all abutting property owners within 60 meters and applicable municipal staff, and we've not received any written or verbal comments to date either. And the minor variance application is being recommended to be conditionally approved by planner Joanne Haley, with the recommended condition that the applicant apply for and obtain a setback permit from the SDNG Department of Transportation Services as per SDNG bylaw 5074. And back to you, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions from around the table? Deputy Mayor Lang?
Just a comment, if you look at the houses to the west, they're all closer to the road than these ones, and on the south side, there are many houses along there that are a little closer to the road, so I don't see a huge problem with it. It's not going to really change too much along there, so it doesn't bother me. I'm in favor of it.
I ask a question just of this because I had that same, like, there's no worse, so in effect, it's desirous or not non-desirous. In accounts like this, as the builder, like, if it was built without permission, everything's settled on the building side before coming to us for the setback? How does that, I'm just looking for, like, procedure there.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Chair. No, it has to come through a planning process first. And the reason for that is once the individual applies for a building permit, they have to be able to prove that they conform to the zoning bylaw, because zoning bylaw is called applicable law under the Ontario Building Code. So when we see either construction without a permit or maybe a proposal to build, then we ask them to go through the planning processes first before a building permit would be considered.
Okay, thank you. Are there any, Councillor Jaworski?
Sorry, I'll move this closer. Just when I saw this, I felt like deja vu, that maybe we've dealt with one of the houses that's along here, or like there's one of the neighboring houses for something similar. But then for the photograph, like the first photograph that Mr. Irwin showed, where there's no deck, like that one there, like it seems like there must have been stairs there at one point. And I'm just curious, like, so, and I'm suspecting in this case they're putting back something that was there in the past as well. Suspect.
Without the applicant here to comment on that, we couldn't offer as much insight as to when or if there was anything there. Thank you.
A case of watch your step. So looking for a mover and a seconder, or moved by Deputy Mayor Lang, seconded by Councillor McDonnell, that we receive this as presented. All those in favor? Carried. There's no correspondence or other business. I believe there's no set, you had mentioned earlier about set next meeting?
No, the next meeting will be, the date will be to be determined.
Then again, can I get a mover and a seconder to adjourn? Moved by Councillor McDonnell, seconded by Councillor Jaworski. Be resolved that we close the meeting at the College Chair at 6:42. All those in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, carried.